Support for WCBU's On Deck comes from Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Special offers available on nearly every new Jaguar with personalized service throughout purchasing and ownership. Jaguar, a proud luxury and performance brand. More at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
Cure Violence Peoria takes its next steps towards operation. That's just one of the things you'll want to hear about to start your day for Monday, June 10th. I'm Colin Shope, and this is WCBU's On Deck. First on deck today, the City of Peoria and Habitat for Humanity Greater Peoria will use federal funding to build new homes on the site of the now demolished McKinley School. WCBU's Cameron Cutinello reports.
The $500,000 in funding will build 8 homes over the next 2 to 3 years. Peoria Mayor Rita Ali says the homes are a step towards their goal of creating affordable home ownership opportunities in Peoria's South Side.
The addition of new single-family homes at the site of the former McKinley School will build momentum towards a vision of a revitalized and vibrant neighborhood right in the heart of the South Side of Peoria.
An additional $500,000 in funding will be used to add sidewalks in the near North Side and East Bluff neighborhoods. Peoria Councilman Tim Riggenbach says the addition is intended to improve safety in the neighborhoods. Democratic U.S. Representative Eric Sorensen of Moline says the money comes as a federal tax refund to Peoria. He says the project stemmed from a conversation he had with Peoria Councilwoman Denise Jackson when he first stepped into office.
You said, we can't just identify that this is an issue and that this is a need. We have to do something about it. Words aren't enough. We actually have to do something.
Construction is expected to begin on the homes this fall. Locations have not yet been chosen for the sidewalks. The Peoria City Engineer will be conducting audits to determine which locations in the near North Side and East Bluff have the greatest need. For WCBU, I'm Cameron Cutinello.
Here are some other stories we're following in the WCBU newsroom. Congressman Darren LaHood is urging the Biden administration to blacklist Chinese electric battery manufacturer Gotion for human rights violations. And a Peoria-based tech startup has landed a major contract with food and facility services giant Aramark. Plus, a Peoria County judge has sentenced a 33-year-old man to 10 years in prison for reckless homicide after the death of his girlfriend in a 2020 car crash. You can find more of these stories and all the details at WCBU.org. In July, it will be 2 years since the Peoria City County Health Department first took up the funding for Cure Violence, a nonprofit emphasizing communication and intervention to end gun violence. Currently, the program is focused on a roughly 6x6 block target area on Peoria's south side. East Bluff resident Alicia Wells is the area's newly hired program director.
My entire life has been committed to acts of service, giving back in the community, a lot of volunteer work with the Peoria Friendship House growing up, and I also was a 911 dispatcher for 10 years.
Wells says that experience as a dispatcher is essential in the new role.
With that experience, I definitely learned to be the calm in the midst of a storm, and that's exactly where I shine at. In the midst of the chaos is when I'm going to be the calmest and speak with the cool head and be able to de-escalate situations.
In her capacity as program director, Wells will oversee 5 violence interrupters, doing work directly intervening in situations that could lead to gun violence, and 2 outreach workers who help connect people in the community with resources to get out of potentially violent situations. The work has personal significance for Wells.
A cousin of mine was murdered a few years ago, and also recently one of my childhood best friends, her son was murdered, Mikeese Taylor, and my cousin Shawan War was murdered. So a lot of that has to do with why I want to be a part of something so important for our community, just wanting to see a change.
Peoria City County Health Department Director of Epidemiology and Clinical Services, Katie Indris, says Wells was selected by a carefully assembled hiring panel. The group includes representatives from the Peoria Park District and the Proctor Center, Manual High School's principal, and a community officer from the Peoria Police Department. Indris says Terry Burnside, CEO of House of Hope, which is partnered to implement the program, is also the site supervisor.
The site supervisor is responsible for overseeing the staff, the team that's out on the streets every day. We're looking at a shift of 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's based on data that was analyzed by the crime analyst with the Peoria Police Department as being the most high risk for gun violence within our focus area on the south side.
From her former dispatcher position in Lake and Cook counties, Wells is no stranger to long, odd hours and even outreach programs.
We created several programs that were a part of giving back and connecting, basically bridging the gap with the community and the police department and creating new social norms.
With a clearer picture of the team and operations forming in the South Side target area, Wells says they are doubling down on efforts to recruit and get it started as soon as possible.
We've conducted several pre-screenings and walkthroughs with several amazing candidates. We're actually starting, we're going to move forward in the process to the interview stage.
As temperatures rise, people are spending more time outside, and Wells acknowledges summer is likely the time where the Cure Violence program would be the most active. While she's eager to get going, she says it's critical to find the right team.
Obviously, that's a process, so we want to make sure that we're not rushing just to start and then we don't have the proper people. So we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we go through the proper channels and follow the model so that the people that we hire are going to be a part of making this program successful.
Wells says she believes the program has the potential to make a difference in Peoria and in the lives of families just like hers.
It is for the community, by the community. The community is going to have a voice in the things that we feel is necessary to stop some of the violence that is going on in the area. And I feel like what better way to approach it than to get an understanding from the community.
There is also a Cure Violence site planned for a section of Peoria's East Bluff neighborhood. That one remains on hold after the closure of partner organization Peoria Community Against Violence. Now, before we let you go, today is the regular meeting of the Pekin City Council. Those meetings start at 5:30 p.m. in council chambers on South Capitol Street. And that's all for today. You can subscribe to WCBU's On Deck podcast on the NPR app, Apple, or Spotify.